Hey YouTube. So I just got done watching the Harry and Meghan documentary that was on Netflix. So I have a lot of thoughts on it. I'm actually on break, so I'm going to do this video real quickly. So I'm American, obviously. So looking in from my point of it, like my point of view on this whole thing that Harry and Meghan went through is that it was awful. But then again, I don't believe some of the things that were said in the documentary. Like, how did she not know who Prince Harry was? I was born in 92 and I know who the princesses are and who the princes are and Princess Diana. So I don't think and I really don't believe that she had no idea who they were. Another thing is that her mother did her such a disservice on not teaching her about being a black woman and how that would be perceived in America. In the documentary, she said she never knew how it was to be felt and to be seen as a black woman. I was like, how did you not know that you were going to be treated differently? Like, girl, I don't know how she didn't realize that she wasn't going to be welcomed with open arms going over to a European country. And for that, I definitely blame her mom. Her mom should have taught her better and taught her how things really are. And should have a real conversation like, yes, you're biracial, but you are going to be seen as a black woman most of the time. And her skin definitely looked different when she was on Deals and Steals or whatever that show was with the briefcase. Um, and when she was on Suits, you could tell that she had black in her. So I don't understand how she thought that she wouldn't be seen as a black woman, especially going over to a European country with mostly white people. I did take notes, so that's why I'm looking down. The hate that she got over there was awful, but then again, if she knew about the history of England and Europeans and how they colonized the rest of the world and like Jamaica and all that history, then she wouldn't have been shocked. Like, I wasn't shocked. I don't know why she was shocked. I feel like she didn't do her research. She didn't do her history. And how are you going to marry into a family and not do a Google search? If she would have did a Google search, she would have found out everything she needed to know. Okay? Okay. She could have talked to some Jamaicans, some Indians, anything, and she would have known everything she needed to know. So that's another thing. So she talked about how she was a nerd. She said that in her own words, how she was a nerd, how she did all these awards and got all this great stuff in school, which is excellent. But you were so smart, but you couldn't Google, and you really thought that they were going to treat you with open arms. Years of inbreeding, years of them marrying white people. And you thought that you coming into this family half black with a black mom with dreads and you thought everything was going to be okay. I don't buy it. I don't believe it. I really think that she was like she knew she had to know about Prince Harry. Like, who didn't know? Come on now. Like, who didn't know? I think she knew. I think when she saw that it was him, she's like, okay, like, this is a meal ticket. Um, I think that they did fall in love. Like, they must have really loved each other. But I think she worked really hard to fall in love, if you know what I'm saying. Read between the lines. I mean, he's a prince. Like, you gotta think about it. He's a prince. And like, if you see the way her dad was acting, then obviously they didn't come from a lot of money if he was able to do all these fake stories for money for the tabloids. So she was secure in the bag, and I'm not mad at her. But don't sit here and act like you didn't know anything about him. Now, let's get back to the dad. What he did was awful. I don't see how you could stage those workout photos and all this stuff just because your daughter is getting married into a royal family. I think that was really bad. Also, I can understand why the dad did it. If he needs financial security, he's going to get his coin the best way he can. So I don't understand how I get why she was mad at him. But then again, if you're not going to give him any money, he's going to make the best money that he can in this situation. He's looking out for himself, which is really messed up, but I can get it. I understand. Like, if you come from like low income, sometimes you gotta do things you don't want to do. Unless she should have went to and be like, listen, I'm gonna take care of all of you guys after this. Like, of course the mom is good now, but I don't know if she went there and the half sister's a bitch. I would have fought her because that's messed up. Who does that? calling all these places, telling everybody that all these lies on her, that was messed up. But then again, Megan should have stood up for the niece and be like, listen, she's coming to my wedding. I don't care what the mom is separate from her. And I would explain to them, the mom didn't even raise the niece. So how are you going to tell her that she can't come to the wedding? That was messed up. I think Prince Harry was racist at one point in time, because remember he did those Nazi photos, which I knew about. Like, I knew about this, and I was born in 92. So there's no way that she didn't know nothing about him. So I do think that him marrying her, falling in love with her, really opened up his eyes to his bigotry that he didn't even know he had. How do you think that wearing a Nazi costume to a Halloween party was going to go over? And you a whole damn prince. Made no sense to me. So I think that them being together really opened his eyes to how messed up his family was. And you can't tell me that her wearing the brooch, whatever family member, the auntie wearing the brooch, she knew what she was doing. Don't play in her face. She knew what she was doing. That was dumb. But yeah, that Harry and Meghan documentary, I was just like, honestly, you only need to watch the last episode to really get everything you need to know. And there wasn't even no good pieces in there. There wasn't no tea. Like, there wasn't really anything. Okay, William yelled at Harry when they had their one-to-one meeting with the Queen and all the higher up royals. That was it. I didn't hear nothing about William's wife, if she was mean to Meghan. I didn't hear anything like that. I didn't hear about the now King Charles calling anybody the N-word. I didn't hear nothing of that. So I don't know what they said, all this stuff behind the scenes, but what was behind the scenes? Okay, so like the communication offices will give up information on other royals to keep their royals that they're covering in a good light for the tabloids. Okay, but there wasn't really anything in that. I liked a little bit of her backstory, which we got, but it showed, like, I don't know. I feel like it didn't really tell us anything. It just showed how the big part of her, what her dad played in her life, and how he changed up on her. But that was it. But it wasn't anything that I don't think you would have, like, any like piping hot news or anything like that. So that's my 2 cents on it. I am trying to get through another documentary on, I think it's like Killer Sally. I started watching it. It was good. It, like, the first episode was intriguing because I only went through the first episode. So I'm gonna try to do a video on that. I think that this one would do in this channel. I mean, if you want to know about like LPN stuff, I can do a video on that. But yeah, so the Harry and Meghan documentary, I wasn't feeling it. I feel like the last episode was really all you needed to know. There wasn't anything that was brought up that was stuff you wouldn't have known. I'm not shocked. Like, if she did her research on the family, Googled how the whole dynasty goes down and stuff, and the things they did to people of color, she would have known what she was getting into. I don't know why she thought that they were going to protect her or do anything different. Like, I think Jamaica just got their independence, or told the Queen, we're not going to answer to you or something. I don't know. But I feel like that was just recently they got that. So I don't know why she was shocked. I really don't get it. You're going over there to a country that's like mostly white. You don't think they're going to feel a type of way? I don't know. And they didn't even speak on how she was divorced. I was like, you a divorced woman going over to that country, and you really think that they're going to treat you like how they treat William's wife? Delusional is the key word for this documentary. And I want to know, like, how long was she divorced for before she got married? There was no tea about the divorce. There was nothing like that at all. They didn't say nothing about the son that they have together, how he's not going to be labeled as a prince. They really didn't, unless I was sleeping in between that piece, I missed it. But they didn't say why he wasn't going to get the prince title. There wasn't really any real substance that was talked about. It was just basically like, my dad messed me up. They were mean to me. We sued the tabloids and won. But it was a 7-year battle. That was mostly it. And that William yelled at his brother. That's all. There wasn't anything else that needed to be said. They could have even touched on the crown. They could be like, well, the crown is legitly what happens. That's another show I want to get into. It looks really good, but I don't have the time to. I'm going to try to find the time to get into that. I did like how they showed some clips about Princess Diana and how she felt like she was just left to the wolves when she divorced their father, Charles. I think that was interesting. I liked how Tyler Perry came and helped them. Um, yeah, how he had a house ready for them. But then, but once again, that will come back to privilege, because if it was anybody else, like a regular person, they would have been asked out. So that was nice that he did that. The paparazzi needs to get a life. To be flying drones over people's houses, that's awful. Like, I don't think that's cool. I don't think what the tabloids did was cool. That cartoon that they had saying that they were leaving the hospital with a chimpanzee in between them, that's messed up. That's not right. So I do see why she was so upset, but I don't know why she was so shocked going over to Europe that she thought that that wasn't going to happen to her. I was really confused. I was like, girl, you going over there? You think that everything's going to be okay? But once again, that's just American looking in. I never been to London. I never been I've been out of the country, but I never been over there, overseas. So, I don't know. So, let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah, that's it. Okay, bye.